Hello, everyone. I am Burlington Mayor Marianne Mead Ward, and I'm delighted to welcome you to yet another edition of Burlington Matters. Our topic today is the environment, and I'm really thrilled to have two guests with me. David Vise, who's the Field and Stream Rescue Team President, and he's going to tell you what he does in the city of Burlington on fields and streams. We have a lot of both. And Katrine, sorry about that, Katrine Handley Dairy, who is from the Halton Environmental Network and is the marketing manager and Generation Green coordinator. So we're going to find out what that means. And we're going to talk about something that I know is on the minds of all of our Burlington residents. I hear it regularly from people in our community. You know, you declared a climate emergency. What are you doing at the city? And what we do, we don't do alone. We do with great community partners like Halton Environmental Network, like the Field and Stream Rescue, and many others. So today we're going to talk about what each of those groups do, you too, and I'm thrilled to have you here joining me today for our conversation. So let's get started. And I'm going to start with you, Katrine. Tell us about the Halton Environmental Network for somebody who doesn't know what you do or where you're at or what region you serve. Give us an idea of what HEN, as some of us colloquially call you. Yeah. What does HEN do?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me here. I'm very excited to talk more about HEN and the Halton Environmental Network. So we're a environmental nonprofit, and we service all over Halton. And our goal is really to propel climate action and environmental sustainability in Halton through education, building awareness to create a community of engaged climate leaders. So we have lots of programs and services that all sort of emphasize this engagement, this education, this action. We do things like waste diversion at events. So that means collecting different garbage that people have and making sure it goes to the right places. Extension of that during the pandemic was we did pop-up cleanups. We encouraged individuals to go out and clean up their parks or areas wherever they saw the most trash or garbage. We do a program called HCC Reads, which is really a Halton-wide book club, film screenings, gardening workshops, webinars, you name it, events. It's all to promote this climate action, mitigation, and adaptation, and really just to inspire people to take action.
That sounds awesome. And we'll come back to what you do as part of that, because I know you do a lot of things. But let's bring Dave in now. Talk to us, Dave, a little bit about Field and Stream Rescue, where you're based and what you do here in the city of Burlington.
Sure. Thank you again for having us. We're a not-for-profit charitable organization. We've been around since 2001, so 21st year. We're made up of a board of directors and a bunch of committees, and then a whole bunch of volunteer groups. Our main focus, I guess, is cleaning and rehabilitating the streams and creeks that flow into Lake Ontario, or that's really what the organization started as. We have a lot of environmental experts that sit on our board and our committees that help us. We obviously liaison with Conservation Halton, City of Burlington, and have board members that sit on our board as well from those organizations to make sure that we're doing the right thing in the right areas. We determine this is our planning phase. So we typically have about 10 to 15 projects a year. And really, again, the focus is on restoration, rehabilitation, debris removal of green spaces. And the goal obviously is to ensure that we're keeping these areas clean and well functioning, enhancing wildlife habitat, keeping the streams cool, that type of stuff.
That's great, and I know you do the rubber duck race, or you used to, but we'll come back to that in a minute.
Yes, good memory.
That's how I first got to know the Field and Stream Rescue Group. It's a great event, but so we'll just sort of tease people with that, and we'll come back with it a little bit. So, tell me about your membership, Katrine. Is it all volunteers? Are there staff? And how can people get involved in what you do?
Yeah, so HEN is all volunteer based. I mean, we do have a staff and a board of directors as well, with the wide range of experiences and knowledge from environmental sciences to sustainability and energy perspectives. We have a youth board member as well. But yeah, a lot of it is volunteer, connecting with the community itself, a lot of passionate young people, passionate community members from all over. We do work in partnership with a lot of great organizations as well. And you can go on our website, you can check out, we have all of their lists there as kind of goes on. But yeah, we just like to, meet people where they are, find out what they're passionate about, and then connect them with different things that we're doing. So that way we can all move forward and take that next step in that climate action.
And I know you serve all of Halton. I think you have an office in Oakville at Queen Elizabeth Park Community and Cultural Center. Is that correct? I think I saw it there when I toured.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's our main office base, but especially in the summer times, a lot of us are sort of out in community a lot. And then of course, now we're all sort of working from home, but our home base is, that community, so Queen Elizabeth Park Community and Cultural Center, where we kind of operate out of there.
That's awesome. Dave, let's go to you. How are you structured? How can people get involved in the work of Field and Stream Rescue?
Yeah, so we're 100% volunteer based. All our committee members, our board of directors, all volunteer based. We have a really strong current volunteer base of about 500 volunteers that we send cleanups, and we continue to obviously use the platforms of social media. Check out our website. All our projects are on there. We also send out a mass email to everyone, just letting them know when the projects are coming up. Yeah, we're in the project planning phase right now. So we've got a lot of really keen, very involved volunteers that there's a lot of moving parts obviously in the organization. So, there's somebody that just does the social media, somebody, a small committee that does fundraising, a small committee that does the finance portion of it. So, but to be involved, we're always looking for like-minded individuals that have a passion for the environment. You don't necessarily have to have that environmental background, just the need to want to contribute to something and make a difference. And that's really what our volunteer base is made of.
That's awesome. And we'll come to some of those specific initiatives. And I think we'll be posting the contact information for both your organizations. We'll make sure we do that at the end of the show. So stick around for that. But coming back to you, Katrine, what have you got planned for 2022, recognizing we're still, at least at the start of 2022, dealing with COVID protocols and we can't meet like we used to, but what are some of the initiatives that you've got coming up that people could participate in or watch for?
Of course, yeah. Top of mind is our Halton Garden Week. So Halton Food is a program of HEN that really focuses in on building and learning about gardening and climate change, and specifically also about reducing food waste. So that's happening really soon. It's February 24th to the 27th. It's a 4-day celebration. It's all virtual. Lots of great workshops, from cooking classes to learning about what to do in the wintertime, and some film screenings as well. So if you're really interested in that, you can, again, check out our website and join in. It's a completely free community event, so it should be really fun to join in. And you get one pass and you can join in whenever you want, so you can take some time and maybe spend Friday looking in and then come back in on Sunday. So it's a great event overall. Another thing that's upcoming is something that I'm very passionate about. You said at the beginning, Generation Green is a program that I work on. It's youth-led, and the goal is really engaging Halton students to take climate action and to be climate leaders. So right now we're actually looking for youth who have an interest in or passionate about climate action, who want to look at a project to reduce greenhouse gas emissions that specifically focuses in on active transportation. So our theme for this year is really looking into how can we build cities healthier, greener, build greener, healthier communities, and just looking at the way that we move around our communities. If you're interested in that and that excites you, you can join us on February 18th for a project launch to learn more. You get 20 community involvement hours. You get to do something good and give back to your community. So it's an all-around fun event. And then, of course, if you're a young professional, we're also hosting green drinks. As you can see, we're doing tons and tons of different things right now. I think Dave probably can echo that as well. So that is this next week, Thursday. And if you're a young professional looking for environmental work or just want to learn more about opportunities, you can join into our virtual green drinks and learn more and connect with the community here within Halton as well. And those are a couple of the immediate upcoming events. Looking to Earth Month and Earth Day, we're partnering with the Oakville Festivals of Film and Arts to do a film screening. And there's so many more things that I could talk about, but I feel like I'll cut it off there. If you do want to learn more, you can always check out our website and our newsletter. We're always posting about new events and that we're doing that our partners are doing as well.
Well, that's incredible. I'm quite curious now what a green drink is. Is it the way we used to do it in my day? We'd get our beer on St. Patty's Day and we'd put green food coloring in. I'm guessing that's not what you mean.
It's kind of close. So it's it's really geared towards university students. If in a non-pandemic world, we would meet at a restaurant or a bar, and you could share a drink. You could informally meet with and network with other professionals, specifically in the environmental field. Hence, green drinks. That's where that name comes from. I mean, you can dye your drink green if you want to, if you're there, but it's completely optional. Now, since we've kind of gone through the pandemic, we've sort of shifted to be virtual. Again, it's just a way to ask questions, to connect with other professionals, to see what a career and environment would look like, to meet other like-minded folks. It's a really fun event. It's nice. I mean, it's been a bit of a transitioning virtually, but it's nice sometimes to have those little breakout rooms, to come from your own home. You can bring your tea, you can bring your coffee if you're late at night, or your drink or your water. And then we just chat and kind of share experiences. It's a good time.
That's great. So you just have to like green initiatives and drinking.
That's it.
I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And meeting people. Well, yeah, I'm certainly not university age anymore, but that sounds awesome. And all the other things sound really great. So we'll make sure we do some, make sure that we let folks know about that and promote that with the show. So Dave, coming to you. So talk to us about, maybe this would be a great time to talk about the rubber ducky stuff that you used to do and some of the other really neat initiatives. I know you work in our schools and that sort of thing. So talk to us about that.
Yeah. First of all, sign me up for one of those green drinks, Katrina. I'm in. Yeah, we had the rubber duck race for many years. Over the last, obviously, pandemic and a few years prior, we weren't able to do it, but we are looking at getting into a few more events like that. We've really been laser focused on just making our projects really kind of prime. Again, there's a lot. We're at about 1,000 miles an hour right now, just in the planning stage to get our projects kind of solidified. Once again, we've got about 12 projects identified throughout city of Burlington, city of Oakville, and Milton. So I guess Halton as a whole, really, that's where our projects are going to be. Our first project takes place March 26th, and it is a cleanup of Sheldon Creek, and it's in an area that really needs lots of help. We're going to need a lot of volunteers, a lot of muscle, and it should be a lot of fun. Our volunteer days typically, or our projects are typically a 3-hour window, and it runs from mostly Saturdays 9 to 12, where we welcome all ages, and we specify that on our website. If it's an area that we can't have all ages, we'll definitely identify that. So. And then we have, as you may be aware, we have a part 2 of our Sherwood Forest Park rehabilitation and restoration project that's happening, and we've been working with Paul Sharman on that, and that's part 2 this year. So we're really excited about continuing that. And then General Bach Park, Appleby Creek, we're restoring some of the banks that have eroded away at the mouth of Appleby Creek. So this will be our 3rd year working with Conservation Halton and doing some stream erosion control and stabilizing the banks. So but we're also looking at some fun events this year. So we haven't quite solidified them, but continue to check out the website, and we definitely will be communicating that out.
Mhm.
I had no idea. I mean, I knew a couple of your, but that's absolutely incredible. All the thing, well, both of you. I just had no idea about the breadth and the variety, and just how many programs that you're putting on that people can participate in. And those are great learning experiences for people too. So, kudos to you, and we will do our best to promote those. I'll try to drop into some of those. It sounds really interesting. I am curious about the General Brock one and the Sheldon Creek, not the Sheldon Creek one, the Sherwood Forest one. So I didn't know, I guess there's a creek running through there, or maybe do you do other things beside creeks in both of those areas?
Yeah, so the General Brock one, we actually worked with Burlington Green, start Project One. So in a small area of that park, we created a natural trail. City of Burlington donated and dropped off all the mulch, and we created the side rails of the trail. And then we planted a whole bunch of kind of shade tolerant species in there to somewhat keep people off of the, so they're not trampling down on some of the species in there, and also stay on the trail. Beautiful little walk through there. I know that that park is in transition, so obviously we work really closely with the city to understand other kind of ways that we can, maybe less mowing, more trees. There's lots of opportunity for that park. So, and then the Sheldon Creek, yes, there's a creek, the Sherwood Forest Park, Sheldon Creek does run through there. So the idea being that that park is obviously used by the community and by a lot of people, lots of foot traffic there. So just trying to create wider borders to the creek. So, and also plant some native species, obviously, to enhance wildlife. But there's also a big invasive species problem inside that park. So we're actively removing a lot of the buckthorn in there. We removed about 2 trailer loads last summer or last fall out of there. So lots of work to be done, but lots of fun work, and great education. Like you're saying, Marianne, it's really great to have the community come out and show them what a native species is, and where it should be planted, and what's an invasive species, and how this is going to impact, and what wildlife we're going to create, and what the impact's going to be on the stream by doing all this stuff. So yeah, thanks for that.
That's a great opportunity, and I know a lot of us are learning. I count myself in the learner category. Just how important bees and pollinators and pollinator gardens, and as you say, having the right species of plants in different areas is so critical to restore that ecosystem and make sure that everything is healthy and functioning. And it truly is an ecosystem of where everything depends on everything else, right? And so getting it right is really important. And certainly I have no expertise or knowledge in that area, and that's why I think these events where the public can come out and learn and then take it home with them is so very important.
Well, and I think our collaboration with the City of Burlington and Conservation Halton, that's where it becomes so important, ensuring that where the City of Burlington can't fulfill, Field and Stream can, and vice versa. And I mean, our collaboration has worked great over the last 21 years, and we appreciate all your efforts and the donations that you guys have provided to us over the last many years. And so thank you for that and your support.
Well, you know what, I always say this, none of us does our work alone. We always achieve great things when we come together, and it's just such a gift to the city and our community to have organizations like yourself, but have the people who will come out and volunteer. And that's all of you out there who are watching, all our residents and our businesses, because truly the city can't do it all. I certainly can't, but when we come together, it's just incredible what we can achieve together. Katrina, I want to come back to you and talk about a little bit more about, if someone's watching right now, what are some things that they can do to be more environmentally friendly? I mean, that's what this is all about, is being kind to our planet and making sustainable choices. What are some of the things that HEN is working on that residents can take for themselves, or advice that you can give them around how to be a more sustainable human being on this planet?
Yeah, and Alice, right before I answer that question, I'm thinking about invasive species. Part of that Halton Garden Week, I think they do focus in, they have a couple of workshops about invasive species in gardens and restoring harmony to maybe your outdoor garden that you're creating, or if you want to plant native plants, but in a smaller space, if you're thinking just in the local garden. And also I think there's some good workshops about edible plants in our landscape. So there's a lot of things across the board there that I think there's lots of great crossover. Is you could go and come to Halton Garden Week, learn about invasives, and then go volunteer in your community as well. So yeah, just that kind of reminder.
I love that. That's great. I'm glad you said that. That's really important, because there is a lot of synergy between the groups, and it's great to see them coming together and working together as well.
For sure. Yeah. And I find that a lot of people do ask me that question too. What can I do? What can I take? What actions can I take? And really it's about personal action a lot. Like the first step you do, whether it's small or if it's big, it really has to be from your own personal goal or inspiration or something that you're really passionate about, because really it's about changing habits. And when you change your habits, it's about consistency and knowing that this is something you're really passionate about. So I always say, like, the big ones everybody knows is, stop using plastic, try to find other alternative eco-friendly products, do a meatless day a week, or try to reduce the amount of meat that you use in your diet, walk more, bike more, all of these things that you hear all the time. And the more you do it, the easier it is, the more you can connect with your community, the more you can find local produce. You can go to, when it's nice outside, you can go to more farmers markets. Like, you just get to know your community so much more deeper by volunteering your time, by planting trees, all of these things. It's about protecting our environment, but it's also about building community. I think that's something that HEN really strives to do. It's about creating a community that we're all working together, where we're proud of where we come from and we understand the earth in which we are connected with as well.
I love how you said that. It really is about coming together as a community. And as you were talking, I recalled that when I first moved to Burlington in 2000, so I've been here 22 years. I'm not from here. We chose Burlington partly for the natural environment, right? We used to love to come out and hike in the conservation areas and love those being preserved for community use. But once my kids got a little bit older, I wanted to volunteer, and the first organization was Burlington Green, and in fact, it hadn't been set up yet. I saw an ad in the paper, if you can believe that. It's like, we don't do that anymore. Dating myself here. Anyone interested in a group coming together for an environmental group in the city? And I went to the very first meeting up on Walker's Line. Amy Schnur, of course, was there, and was one of the founding members of Burlington Green. That was a passion of mine a long time ago. Yeah, I'd almost forgot that. They reminded me once when they had their 10th anniversary or something like that. You were one of the founding members, and you just do it because you love it. But it's touched all of the organizations. I know HEN and Field and Stream. I have memories of taking my kids down to Hidden Valley and watching the rubber ducks go float by on the stream, and that was an awareness raising and fundraiser for you. And all these ways that if you just follow what you believe in and what you care about and are passionate about, it does build a community of others, because you meet people who are like-minded, that are involved in these things. And certainly that was one of my very first introductions to Burlington, is through environmental folks and the work that they were doing. So it's great. I really do appreciate what you guys do. All right, so we have a few minutes left, and I do just want to talk 3 exactly. Get in the queue. See how fast that goes? So I just want to give both of you a chance to say any final thoughts around a message you want to leave with the community, and then we'll wrap it up there. Maybe I'll start with you, Dave, and then go to you, Katrine. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, sure. And just to answer your question a little bit before, I think a lot of this is education, just, continuously educating ourselves on, none of us are perfect, and, we live in an urban environment, and we've got to, do the best we can with what we have. So I think, educating ourselves on, the proper species to plant, what's invasive, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish, ensuring that we're, there's a collaborative effort here and making sure that we're not doing it as individuals. I think, the individual, we all want to, include ourselves in each one of these, but the reality is that, we all are part of this, let's call it our communities and our city. And I think that being able to contribute, coming out, volunteering, donating, whatever you can do to help the environment is a win as far as I'm concerned. So, I just really hope people, continue to check out our website, come out and volunteer, educate yourself, and we're ready to have you come out. So
well said. Thanks, Dave. And over to you, Katrine.
Yeah, thank you. If you're interested in learning more about the Halton Environmental Network, or affectionately known as HEN, you can join our newsletter, follow us on social media. Any of the events that I mentioned too, they're all on our website, which is haltonenvironet.ca. And yeah, you can learn more about the volunteer opportunities we have coming up, upcoming events, local climate news. I encourage you to follow along, and that way you can find something you're passionate about as well.
That's great. I've put a note in about some of the upcoming dates so people can join. The March 26th cleanup, Sheldon Creek, the Greener Cities project launch, February 18th, I think you said, the film event, or that's the Generation Green event.
Yeah, Generation Green is February 18th. Garden Week, February 24th to 27th. 24th. Green drinks, that would be, I think, on it's the Thursday next week, so that I believe is the 17th. And then
coming up
22nd, Earth Day. So mark your calendars for that for sure.
A full schedule. So check out the web pages. I'm signing off now. Marianne Mead Ward for Burlington Matters. I'd like to give a special thanks to my guests here today, Katrine Handley-Derry from Halton Environmental Network and Dave Weiss from Field and Stream Rescue. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have a great afternoon.